This choice, what you're talking about, yeah. One, there was people praying for death. There's people that wish they could kill themselves rather than go through this. Remember, these people, you see, like, they weren't just like some guy thought, okay, I'm just going to slave people. They've obviously like a Stockholm syndrome, and they've got like a Bible for slaves.
Yeah.
But how to make them think in 10 years, but how to make them think in 20 years. If you keep doing this, if you could, this weren't some joke little plan.
Hey brothers and sisters, it's your boy Forever Blessed Chris, and welcome to Chris Speaks. On today's Chris Speaks episode, we're going to look at an RTM podcast post that I came across the other day, and I saw Naf Skrilla, Northwest legend. I wanted to do a reaction to this one because I actually personally know Naf, and there was a time when I was hanging around him when he was making the transition to, from the street life, similar like myself. And, he managed to change around, and he was open up a vegan restaurant, and he managed to, bring in his family into it as well, his children, things like that. So we're going to have a look at the type of things that he's been doing, what he's doing in the community. And, he's a really good brother. So I feel like this sort of content is needed in my YouTube as well for me to do these type of reactions. And they also speak about a bit about the history as well. So I feel like, let me, chime in on this as well. So hope you lot enjoy it. And if you do, make sure you press the like button and subscribe if it's your first time seeing me today. Now let's get on to today's video.
Naf Skrilla in the building.
Respect my general.
My soul.
Not loud.
My song.
Upright.
Upright is going mad, but you come to moving to show. What's going on?
And to come and show the people
What's going on?
Melanated excellence.
Oh, whoa.
You know what? Yeah, one thing I'll say about Naf Skrilla is that he's always like, even when I used to see him and when I used to check him, always where he always had on his some form of bandana he always had on his head, like, and it's always some next color, like, no matter where he is. I remember when I used to live in South Kilburn, and I remember linking him up and he come see me, and that my man was he just came through all colored up, wearing I think he's wearing his purple bandana them times as well. So yeah, man, he's definitely a character still, but he's good. He's cool peoples, man. He's good peoples.
It was one of them youth that had they labeled it as learning difficulties back then. You see me? So I ended up in a mad primary school called Vernon House, where just very mad kids would go.
And that's another thing as well. You see them days there, like, they labeled a lot of us, them things there, like learning difficulties and, troublesome kids and things like that growing up. But it's like, I think it's just a thing where we was just misunderstood, you get it? And a lot of kids are just misunderstood. And because we were one of the first, I think we were one of the first generations to like fully start off from like reception and primary school and things like that, from when our parents came here. So it's like a lot of our teachers didn't really understand us. And if you're like me as well, we came in this country from a young age, coming from a violent country and things like that. It's like you get over here and then you got a language barrier as well. Do you get it? So a lot of us were just angry at the world, do you know what I'm saying? And then we just needed someone to understand us as well while we were trying to settle in school. And it just, it was difficult. But yeah, they just couldn't deal with us. So plus we had anger issues as well. So we just got labelled, troublesome kids, learning difficulties and all that. But when you look at us now, most of us, we're intelligent. We were just misunderstood from a very young age.
You know the craziest thing though, yeah? I know, mad, you got my mad brethren from primary school, like Asher Phillips and that, lunatics, yeah, absolute lunatics. But it's like, and I link them later down, they're cool. So a lot of people, like, they burn off their madness early.
That's what I was just saying as well.
You're just mad for bare long.
Nah, I got to a stage where I had to make a big change in my life. That's when I hit rock bottom. You see me? When I hit rock bottom, that's when I knew it's only left or right now. The move has to be made.
Yeah, I think that's what happens for most of us as well. And the maddest thing is, I think that's when I linked up with him as well. Around the same times when you hit rock bottom. You know, big up Naf anyway, if you're seeing this. But yeah, I think that's around the same time that we really connected and started linking up in that, because I think around that time as well, I was just about to start my spiritual awakening journey. You know what I'm saying? Where I was starting to see things from a different perspective, and I just wanted better. I wanted to make a change. And that's just around the same time that I started hanging around Naf as well, where he was starting his shop, his restaurant, his vegan restaurant. So I was hanging out, you know, I was encouraging him as well. And yeah, it's good to see that he's made that change and he stuck with it, you know. That's positive.
So how was Big Bros and that dealing with life? What did you have to look up to?
Big Bros is doing their thing out there, you know, getting involved in whatever they're getting involved in, all sorts of madness. You see me?
How was that for you though?
Me as a youth watching that and just seeing it as something I want to get involved in. I want these bits, I want these whips, I want all the lengths, I want all of them things around me, because I'm coming up now.
Yeah.
As a youth man, you know, you're watching all these movies, you're watching Scarface on repeat, we're just like, yeah, we know what we need to do. And we're talking youth age, we're talking like 11, 12, them age days, you see me? But
yeah, what he said there is right as well, because exactly around that age as well, what did he say, 11? I think for me it was around 13, 14, probably 11 as well. I remember me and a few other kids, we sat around, I was in one of my friend's house, and we was watching Scarface. Do you get what I'm saying? I was really young, was really probably around 12, 13. Do you get it? What was a 12, 13-year-old watching a movie like Scarface? You know, you're only going to end up going down that same route. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's mad, because those are the type of things we like to watch and people we looked up to, you know, and most of us ended up, you know, going down that lane as well. But it's good to see that a lot of us who were considered very wild boys, we ended up, you know, changing our life around and becoming great men, you know, leaders, real leaders, which the community needs.
If it were a choice,
yes.
would you allow or send your child, or do you think it's somewhere good to be sent to? Or because you said that you did enjoy some things and you did learn a few things from there, but in terms of you haven't actually got your full experience yet. So before we get into that, would it be somewhere that you would allow your child to be, your children?
It depends what type of institution we're talking about. You know?
Boarding schools.
Yes, if we're talking about an organization, like, for example, you have the Indian community, they have their own educational system, which at the same time, it still falls into the curriculum and all stuff, but they have their own schools. So for their parents to send their children to their boarding school, it's underneath their umbrella. But for us, as a Caribbean Black community who are going underneath organizations and education that doesn't actually teach us who we are, like who we were and who we're supposed to be, like kings and queens, and we're not getting the right knowledge, we're always going to be undermined and seen as...
Yeah, exactly what you said as well. It's true. It's like, it depends on the type of, you know, umbrella it's falling under, you know, who's the institution, like what's their background like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, the example, you know, certain type of cultures, if they have their own boarding school, then that's fine, do you get it? But you don't want to send your child to a boarding school that they're not really teaching your children the background, you know, our heritage, who we really are, things like that. So that's why one of the reasons why I'm doing my research as well on history, because I believe that, you know, some of us are supposed to be teachers, you know, to be able to teach the next generation and things like that. But in a way where, you know, for example, people like myself, when I was in school and I was being taught history, I wasn't really listening in the history lessons. I didn't really pay attention. Why? Because I didn't really connect. Do you get it? But now I love history because I'm actually coming across books and things where it's like, raw, that's actually very interesting. I never got taught this. And I just believe that if some of us start learning the true history and what matters to us, then it's important for us to gather around as teachers and be able to be under, you know, like a specific location in a building where, you know, parents bring their children, you know, every week or something like that for their children to be taught. Do you get what I'm saying? Like real history, like history that actually matters to us. So maybe in a form of a boarding school, do you get it? Or a summer camp. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that will really help our community.
So you never went Joe?
I did a little time in jail, but for stupidness, little time. But I was still able to get my education, and I was able to study other companies. And I think my case was I was studying Tesco. So I was writing the whole project on how they came up when it started, family business, and it always inspired me, you need to have our thing popping, family businesses, isn't it? We hand down to our children. They take on what we started, and before you know it, grandchildren's involved. and things just doubling and compounding. You get me, over the generation. So education is a good thing.
I definitely agree.
You done good though.
A lot of what you said. But I do feel like this systematical educational system is definitely needed. Not so much so only on a tutored basis. The reason why is because this is what runs the world. So unless we're clued up and tuned in with them and the system, we're not actually going to get to understand.
But then again, with what she's saying is, yeah, that was all right. That would make sense years ago, like maybe 20 years ago. But now you can find almost anything on the internet. Do you get what I'm saying? Anything that a child wants to, anything that anyone really wants to learn, they can find it on the internet. They don't even have to pay for a course. It's just about how much do you want to know. Do you get it? So I just feel like, no, you don't really still need the systems, education system. You know, you can literally still learn just by using the internet. So, because we're living in different times now. So I don't really agree with what she's saying.
How to run the world. So it's not necessarily that we actually have to, and having the knowledge of the system, I feel like that.
But it's like sometimes we open up to too much options. I think parents like to say, let the children choose. They can do this, they can do this. Too much options. Lewis Hamilton, because when he was an 8-year-old, his dad knew this is what he's doing. He's going to be racing these cars. Serena's sister's the same. You know, this is what my daughters are doing from like 7 years old. They're going to be playing tennis till they take over the tennis industry. And this is what we need to be disciplined and know, you could build this 15 subjects. What's 15 subjects doing for us? We should log in and focus on the one thing that you're born to do. You're very
What
good
are you
at.
going to say? You talk loud.
No, I was just going to say, I agree to a certain extent about the whole schooling thing, but people rely on school too much now, like he said, to do everything. Heroin 100% have forgotten about their part, and they moan about the system, but they don't want to input any knowledge within the home that correlates with that. You get what I'm trying to say? So.
Yeah, that's a lot of people now look at school like a childminder.
Well, I know that firsthand. I used to be a teacher.
School is good. It shows you social skills.
School's good, like
Even things
just
like
get them away.
teaching your child how to do basic things like tying their shoelaces.
How to
A
be
lot of
friends.
parents don't do those basic things, and they're. Do you mean there's children in year 7 and year 8 that don't know how to tie screws?
They go, man.
It's because their parents haven't told them. It's not a thing that has been a priority.
Yeah, this
So
man.
it goes back to what you
colour
were
were
saying.
they?
Whatever is the priority for you,
What colour were the kids that couldn't tie their laces?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, obviously. Get me, God. I know the black kids could tie their laces still. Because I know how to run, you get me? But now, that's the first thing we learn how to do.
to shift.
But now, you understand? You're not trying to get caught, but yeah, bam.
So it's all about you staying true to what you know you love doing and what's fun. You see me? You have to have fun and love doing it. Time just fly. You don't even know it's time fly again. You just love it. And that's how it was for me when it came to me.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like you find something that you like doing, that you can do it, and where time's flying and you don't even notice it. You know, you're enjoying it. And just work on that, and then you're just going to get better and better and better. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get scared to try out things. God might be giving you a vision, or you might have this urge to start something, but you just, procrastinating. And you're not even realizing that thing there is going to lead you to something else. Do you get it? Like the Bible says that, what's it called? A man's talent will bring him before great kings or great men, something like that. So it's like, that's probably something that's going to help you get out of the hood. Do you get it? And you just have to have a go at it, you know, just keep working at it.
But back when man's whipping up the yams, you see me? Man's not cooking the righteous thing. Man's supplying the streets with things that's going to bring crosses into life, you see me? Bringing death into people's life, nothing good. Back as a youth on the street, man was shutting and doing all them foolishness, you get me? Getting involved in that just to live the lifestyle and make fast money and thinking it's cool, you see me? So from then I had to switch it to something good. No more cooking of that, but now I'm a vegan chef from Alto.
Is that what you do with yourself? You don't eat?
I'll just cook plant-based food.
I'm saying, when I first went jail, remember it's somewhere that you hear all the oldest go into. I remember when I first heard about Fulham, I didn't even know it was a prison, bro. I thought it was like some holiday camp or somewhere.
Yeah, but no one's coming out of there.
It's a part of our life. I remember even my mum taking me to see my brother in prison because he's in prison for a minute. So I was a little you know, getting sweets from the vending machine on the visit. So I remember those things. So it was like a part of what we grow up and we see around us. It just eventually plays into our lives. Yeah, you get me?
You know, like the fact that when everyone comes out, because no one's that. No one ever talks about his hard time. Man, I rating them. It's like, welcome back. You has never been there. Of course you're like, you know what I mean?
And that's what it is as well. You know, like when you come out of jail, they put you on a pedestal. Everyone's like,
yeah, I think when I went there for the first time, I only been inside once. It was just like, all right, cool. I can't believe I'm here. Then it's like, okay, I'm here. This is it. Okay, cool. Water off. What did I say? Water off a duck's back, you know. And then I'm like, yeah, I did it, you know. Ticked it off the checklist. Then I'm never trying to come back here again. That's exactly how I felt.
yeah, there was like, you know what I'm saying? So you
It's fucked up your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glorifying the wrong things in our
it's true.
community. A lot of the wrong things get glorified.
It's true, man. It's true, man. It's true, because I felt like I was some heavy guy when I came out of jail.
So you said you were.
Glorifying the wrong things, trust me, because it's like, as a man, why would you want another man telling you when you can go shower and, you know, just telling you when you can do things, you know, just shuts that door. There's nothing you can do. You can scream, shout, whatever. You ain't coming out. I'm going to tell you when you're going to come out, you know, and that's the thing that I didn't really like about that, because I don't like to be controlled in a way. You get being told what to do when I can do it. So them type of places is not there. It's not for people like me.
But now, right now, man's working on generational wealth building and setting up the kids them in their business. They've got their business building and they know the trade. They know how to hustle. They know how to serve the customers. They know how to get involved in the admin. They know how to do things behind the scenes and trying to get them up in the game free.
Ages?
Both 2 daughters 16 and one son. No, just a busy year.
It's outside, yeah.
And one son 9 years old. Each of them have their own business. We've got Kimora's Vegan Treats, based in Cricklewood. Amelia's Vegan Kitchen, the virtual company, and VK Burgers. That's my son. He's got his shop in Cricklewood as well.
That's good.
Good.
So we're just trying to push generational wealth and showing them that, look, you know, this is how we can make money without having to beg for jobs, without having to have a CV, without having to apply for anything. You just need to know your hustle, know your skill.
See what you just said there? That's what I've been trying to do. You know, a lot of people don't get it. Do you get what I'm saying? It's all about, you know, if you have children and that, and you don't want them to get to a certain age where they start looking for work, start looking for jobs, handing out CVs, and well, they can't even hand out CVs these days, but you don't want them to be applying for jobs and not getting them. You know, you want to be able to say, you know what, you're looking for work, come work for me, here, take this, go do that. Do you get what I'm saying? It might not be a lot, but at least it gives them a bit of, you know, motivation, a bit of hope, to, you know, to start them off. And that's what it's about in a generational wealth. So I like what he's doing.
Enough slaves, with marks on them. So that doesn't look like choice to me. I see enough of them dead. That don't look like choice to me.
Well, then a death wouldn't be a choice.
No, but it wasn't their choice to die.
I want to say,
No, but-
my thing is, it is their choice to still stay living and saying it like.
You know what? See Kanye?
So my thing is, I'm not saying we're rich right or not wrong. We're debating, but what you're trying to do is trying to make it seem like I'm wrong.
No, you're feeling
having
that.
a debate.
No, and I'm
So my thing is, I completely forgot.
Yeah, Kanye,
It's
anybody
not a
that has
choice.
never been forced something, because I've been to prison. I know what it's like to be forced. I know what a choice is. I know what it's like to be taken.
And they hold you
There's
down.
no way you're going to tell me those black people there, it was their choice. Kanye's an idiot. Big idiot.
So my thing is this: we're not talking about just being.
The wife
a
of Kim
slave.
Kardashian, yeah, either. All that.
We're not staying in a situation. I'm talking about you staying alive in that situation. Is it your choice to go through this process of what you're being put into, or do you get yourself out of it? However, the
You
means
can't
are
get
of
yourself
getting
out of it.
You know some
And
of the
that's what I'm-
options they gave the man then?
It's not an
to get out of
option.
it. You know, like
Chop your
genocide.
legs,
You know what
chop your-
genocide is?
chop your leg
When
off.
they
No,
like,
I'm-
no, but you know
I'm
what
not
genocide
actually,
is?
so
No, but you know when
Yeah.
they're making that family members have sex, someone has to choose who dies. And it was dark days, you know. You see when you say, that choice to stay alive, you've seen your whole village get murdered.
But then you're contradicting what I'm saying.
I'm not.
To me, you are.
I'm not.
Because
Okay.
when you land, watch this. I'm saying to me, so if I was to disagree, for instance, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, but say for instance, if I was to agree with Kanye and say that it was a choice only because of what you've just now said, there was genocide, there was this, people were being forced to sleep with, yeah, fair enough. In the initial instance, they were taken. But now, going through that process, you are deciding whether you're going to continue living throughout that process.
I'm letting you, even though you cut me, but go on.
So to me, is that where it now becomes a choice? Because
No.
you have to now decide, do you want
How
to
are
keep
you
continuing?
deciding?
You don't just get an initial
You're
day.
not deciding.
You don't just get an initial day where you get licks on Monday. Now, it's continuous. You're getting licks on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right back to Monday again.
Right.
So when do you
I
get
think
to
you are missing it. So to me, if I was
You're
in
missing
that,
it.
if I was in this situation, my choice would be I'm killing myself. If I'm not getting to dumpy someone, then someone's obviously going to kill me because I've tried to get myself out of that situation. That's what I mean. So I don't mean naturally I'm going to kill myself, but somewhere along the line I'm going to end up dying. Yeah. So in that sense, I can now see that it would have been a choice for me to continue living in that state instead of me making this choice to now make sure that whether or not I end
This
up
is why
dead
you
or
have to
not.
understand.
So
You
that's what I'm
have
saying.
to
I'm
understand
asking
you're not the
question.
same as every black person.
Kanye, either.
Have you been to Africa before?
Gambia.
Have you seen how the people them treat you?
Sorry?
You've seen how you get treated when you're there. They're trying to do everything for you, right? They're the type of people who be like, do everything for you, people, right? You've been to Jamaica.
What part of Gambia
You've been to Jamaica.
Ask my sister, we got land there.
Have you been to Jamaica?
Huh?
You've seen how Jamaicans deal with you.
Yes, I'm going to
Different.
Jamaica too.
You see how Jamaicans move, right? How different type of people. You ain't no bend over people, right? Different tribes, different people.
I think
so
he's
if
strong.
tribes did come from Africa and got slaved, then maybe the way how they carry themselves, that's how they are naturally. But when you're dealing with Jamaicans and Caribbeans, these people 80, you know, these people are warheads. They
Yeah.
cut themselves before they're going into no slave shit.
I
So
understand
you
what
have to
you're
remember
saying.
that we're not the
You have to
same.
remember that a lot of the people that.
So when you're trying to,
I
when
feel like
you're
you
No,
don't
see,
understand.
understand. You're not understanding what we're telling you.
I am.
It's
But
easy.
you're giving me an answer to
No,
something
because
that
it's
I haven't
easy
asked.
to
So
say.
that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
trying
no.
to
I'm gonna quickly go to the toilet, yeah?
And come back and
It's easy to
make
say.
us know
yeah?
itself.
It's easy to say. I would have just killed myself. No, but it's easy to say that I would have just killed myself. Two things you have to understand: that everybody that had any strength is already dead. They went and they wore it out. Who's left? Is kids and women. Who's left? Is kids and women. So you see all this? I would just kill myself. Yeah, with what? Because you're not. Like, don't think everyone's just sitting there. The village has been burnt down. Whoever you think's got strength has been M. It's just now you and a couple of people, and you've got nothing. What are you killing yourself? Your hands? How? And there's people that are praying for death.
Listen, I feel like you lot have just.
And another thing as
misunderstanding
well
what I'm
is,
saying.
No, I totally understand.
and another thing as well is that they haven't mentioned is you come at a price. Do you get what I'm saying? When they come to collect these slaves and things like that, there's already a price on your head. So they're not gonna try and put you in a situation where you're gonna do yourself. They're not gonna allow that. Do you get it? Because someone's about to pay for you. Someone's already paid a price for you. Do you get it? So they're not gonna allow that. So it's not as easy as saying, oh yeah, slavery was a choice. I should have just, I would just, end my life, because they're not gonna allow you to just end your life. They even get disappointed when they return back to their to the captains, to their owners and things like that, and they're doing a countdown, doing the numbers and that, and then they're seeing that a few people have committed, jumped out of the ship or did something to end their own life. They don't even like that. So that's another thing we gotta remember. Like, these people, when they come to get you lot, when they came to get them, the slaves, they already had a price on their head. So they're not trying to, I'm saying, you're their property now. They're not trying to allow you to just end yourself just like that. Do you get it? So that's just another thing we got to remember.
This choice, what you're talking about, yeah. One, there was people praying for death. There's people that wish they could kill themselves rather than go through this. Remember, these people, you see, like, they weren't just like some guy thought, okay, I'm just going to slave people. They bring obviously like a Stockholm syndrome, and they've got like a Bible for slaves.
Yeah.
For how to make them think in 10 years, for how to make them think in 20 years. If you keep doing this, this weren't some joke little plan.
My name's Forever Blessed Chris. If this is your first time seeing me, make sure you press the subscribe button as well. And I'll see you lot on the next video. Remember that I love you. Remember, Yeshua loves you even more. I'll see you on the next video. God bless you.